Good evening and welcome to Let's Drone Out, LDO episode 288. Someone said that there was some new releases of something, but no news of this has come here, so we don't know what you're talking about. Joining us this week, we have Curry Kitten.
Hello.
We have Blue Owl.
Hello.
We have Harry Mac Fan.
Bonjour.
And I'm Frank. We again might have Jack pop his head in at some point if he feels like it, but probably not. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I don't know anything about any new releases of anything, but I have heard that there's like a problem with like a firmware update on some goggles. So like, don't do that. Don't update the firmware on your goggles because it breaks things apparently.
Naughty.
Try and activate them.
Yeah.
Anyone drinking at home, if any one of us says DJI, you have to take a swig of drink, okay?
That's the first one, right?
So I've already said it once.
So start drinking now. Let's talk about it, because unless even people who didn't do FPV would probably find themselves logging onto YouTube wondering, why are there 100 million videos all about the same thing, and why is everybody holding up this broken quad? Yes.
Is that the new release?
Is
that? I thought we were talking about the Insta360, the new tiny little one that they keep teasing.
Yeah,
that was what we were talking about. I didn't realize there was a new DJI FPV.
Have a drink.
Yeah.
You're going to be pissed in a minute.
I think the quick summary is DJI, drink everybody, have released a drone to try and make their camera drone people cross over to FPV, but have cunningly made it so fragile that if you landed a bit funny, it explodes and you have to send it away and buy new bits. At the same time, if you try and activate the goggles, they might brick themselves and not work anymore.
I know.
Which is fun.
It's not like DJI to do anything like that. Normally,
where's your drink, Tony?
Blue Owl. I'm not drinking till tomorrow.
Drink.
You're gonna save it all up and just like at midnight, just shots.
I'll down it on tomorrow for you. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought now. I totally forgot what I was saying.
So I don't know about you, but the day of the release of the thing I'm not gonna mention, everybody knows what we're talking about.
Come on, have a drink.
I'm not getting drunk. I mean, I'm old now, so I have to be careful.
Oh yeah, well old now. That's hangover city, isn't it, when you hit 30?
So the day of the release, when I opened the YouTube, I kept scrolling, and I'm not even subscribed to that many channels. I don't watch that many FPV videos, but everybody just released. It seemed like they released the videos at the very same time. Everyone who was testing
went click.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched any of these videos, to be honest. So I'm happy to hear from you.
I saw so many on Facebook. I literally was flicking through, and it was just pictures of dangly arms like this. And then I watched Barbwell slowly crash into a tree, and then held his drone up when it was broke. And I thought, wow, there's going to be someone's going to be earning some money out of this. Some
cockwarmable.
Well, I actually watched the live event, not knowing that 2 minutes after that live event, my entire YouTube stream would be swarmed. I thought, I'll watch that. That'd be fun to watch live, and let's watch little clips. I did notice, though, and you can tell this, because anybody flying a sort of a GoPro with Hypersmooth or using that after thingy effect will have a much smoother video. And I noticed in like the official, DJI do these really big, like impressive little demos, don't they, to show it off, and they're always like chasing like horses across a field, or there's a volcano coming off. The clips of each one was like 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, so you never sort of see and judge to yourself if it was a bit wobbly or not. But I got the impression it was. If you look closely, it's all a bit all a bit jittery. And then before you could notice it, it was like, look at these people riding bikes, or look, there's a car driving past very fast. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's going to make DJI a fortune in aftermarket parts. That's the only thing I can really think about.
Yeah,
because all the people that have been flying camera drones and are very used to the throttle stick is something that does altitude, and you like push eyeball down the sky, are suddenly going to be, oh, let's just try getting a bit flashy. I want to do a dive down this mountain, and it's just going to be, oh man, it's going to be.
That controller that they've released with it, the kind of accelerometer, like one-handed thing.
Oh,
but I would quite like to have a go with that, but on like hubs and kind of, like an X4, like a tiny whoop type thing. I'd like to have a go on that, not on something that costs over £1,000. That seems silly. But
I haven't watched a proper video on that yet. I saw it from their like demo reel. Some guy just going like this, but I think did Tommy. I got a bit fed up after about half an hour. It's like there's too many videos. I watched Bardwell's one. I watched the official one. I watched somebody unscrew it and take it apart. God knows if that's going to go back together or not. And then I was done. But I hadn't really seen it other than it looks like it's a motion controller of some sort.
Yeah.
Weighs quite a bit though. 800 grams. It's quite a bit. I mean, that's what's an average. Well, actually, what is my?
Let's say about 500 or 600 grams for a decent, a relatively decent city sort of freestyle quad. And of course, if you want a spare battery, pony up 130 quid for a 6S to 2000 milliamp hour.
Wow. That's a lot.
Longer, right? 20
minutes. 20 minutes flight time, 15, 20 minutes. Depends how you fly. So it's pretty good. But I'd get bored doing that. I'd get bored doing my 10 minutes flying with the Tomahawk. I went out the weekend and flew far and come back, and I got cramp again in my wrist and just holding it in that position. I'm like, no,
cramp in your wrist.
Oh, it's horrible.
You're doing things funny.
Is it not? I mean, surely you just kind of leave it in the position and it's just automatic cruise control.
It was a little bit windy, so it was. It was.
What, the sticks kept blowing away, and you had to fight the wind with your thumbs to get them back.
That's it. But I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of money, 130 for a battery, in it, especially if you stack it.
1,200 quid for a quad's quite expensive. I mean, you do get the goggles with it, which is good, and the controller, but I
think it's all right money for what it is, but
I think you'd want it to, because like Bardwell's crash wasn't much of a crash, was it? We've all been in trees. It just looked like he just slightly bumped off. But I think the fact that it's 800 grams, if it comes down in anything other than a very controlled landing, it's just those arms just going to snap, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of broken pictures 2 days in. Broken
and
arms and
the goggle
props
thing.
is 20 quid in it or something. Full props, 20, 15 pounds. I'm sure I read that somewhere.
They're special props though.
Yeah,
I'm not buying that. I don't even know if you can change the camera angle, but that would be very short flight.
With a little special
pair batteries.
You
I
can
don't know if you can get it to 65 degrees, but you can do it.
No, it doesn't go ludicrous mode. Blew out.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So Tony, tell us more about where you went flying. What was your flying like?
Locally.
Yes, of course, naturally. Rules. But were you flying like in a big field through some trees?
I've done a Tomahawk cruise down the valley. The valley.
Yes, the local valley.
The local valley, yeah. I think it's local. It's not far away from me. 20 minutes, something like that. That's local, isn't it? For me.
So how was your shooting / fishing with the Thor? How did that go?
Very, very good. But I went very, very far. I cast my line very, very far.
exactly 499 meters away and at 399 feet. Yeah,
exactly to the
Wow.
point, and then come back. Had a great time. Yeah, no, it was a great test. Another windy day, but it was less cloudy, but still couldn't get any satellites. It was I'm gonna have to upgrade my puck. I think it's just rubbish. I'd let the guy out under the cupboard. He come with me, and he's got the V2 puck in his. He's got a 6-inch long range one, and his puck got like 8 satellites in about half 30 seconds. So I've got to change it because having the home point on your displaying, and how far you've gone and which way to come back is very important on a long range quad.
I was going to ask like what you were using the GPS for, because presumably you're not getting it to like fly itself if you're having to worry about the wind blowing it around.
No, that is purely to follow you, to know which way's home and how far you've gone. And
because you couldn't pull out Jack with his return to home jacket, so you had to have an arrow on the screen.
I did go and see Jack after I went to the valley. I went and said hello, stood on his doorstep, threw my dog at him. Yeah, he was all right. But what I was impressed with the DJI, sorry, you've got a drink, Blue Owl, drone was it was the return the home point on the goggles. Did you see that in the goggles?
Yeah, it's like a little augmented reality thing, wasn't it? So it shows a little H back where the H, your actual home point is. So if you're over somewhere and it's in some trees, it will plop the H in the right place, distance-wise and stuff. So you can
quite impressive.
Get back in a sort of more easy way. And with its thingy receiver, whatever that thing is, which isn't
The
remote
ADM,
ID, it will do the same. So if it detects there's a plane, it will put them sort of on the map, as it were.
What's the term for it?
ADSB in.
ADSB.
ADSB.
So that's so I haven't actually seen. Has anyone got a video of that actually working with a plane coming in and something coming up on the goggles or not? Has anyone seen that at all?
No.
So we don't know what actually it looks like.
But expect excuses like I just wanted to see what would happen in my goggles.
It just says alarm and shuts all the motors off and it falls out of the sky.
I want to see if I can get the 2 points to converge.
Yeah, let's play Pong. I was just playing Pong, officer.
So were you like testing anything new on the Thor, or were you just like, it's a nice day-ish, I'll go fly the Thor?
It was a nice day. I just wanted to push my casting a little further to see, just wanted to push a bit more. But I am hoping to get some batteries again soon, because I'm running lipos, 6S lipo 2200 at the moment. I'm gonna try to get some lithium ion soon, and do another test, which is gonna definitely give me cramp.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're struggling already on your lipos, then your lions are gonna really do your wrists in.
Maybe you do need iNav just so you can say. You press the
hold
button,
on.
just say go that way.
Loiter, please.
You got position hold. You can like stretch out a bit, rub
I
some
could get a
ibuprofen gel in your old bones.
What about a mannequin hand? What just does this, and then I just can hold the mannequin hand. Will that work?
What?
Probably get cramp holding it.
That sounds a weird thing to do. That sounds more hassle than just holding the stick.
Probably. Yeah, I might not bother with that idea. But Clive in the chat, he just put, I can see it here. He's just got, because pretty sure Clive's got a Thor. He's just got a 6S Lion 3000. That'd be interesting to see how long that will go for.
And I imagine that there will be will there be a bit of a gathering of Thors at Wings and Wheels, maybe?
Yes, there will. I think Fossil Stuff has got a stand at Wings and Wheels. I've been asked to be a pilot again, so I'm going to be going there and probably flying a few things. What date was it? 26th and 27th of June. I actually thought it was the 21st and 22nd, but that's still okay. So yeah, Fossil Stuff will be there. There'll be some pilots, There's a Whoop tent. So I'm pretty sure our friend, fellow flat earther, will be there, Drone Junkie. So yeah.
It's there in the picture.
It's at Northfield in Essex, I think. Does it say anywhere? I think it's at Northfield Airport.
Yep.
Yeah. But we went 2 years ago and it was absolutely boiling, so hot. But it was a really good. It was good. Really enjoyed it. So hopefully I can see someone down there. Are you going to go, Frank?
Yeah, assuming.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, hopefully by then we'll be able to get out and about and do some things. I might. You never know. I might have a car by then.
Well, I'm going to be camping there with my new tent on my van, so I'm going to be. That'll be probably my second outing.
Your foldy outy, sleepy over the cliff. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be nice if anyone goes to come and say hello. Who's in the chat? That'd be cool to see people.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will be unlocked by then and safe and good.
Hopefully we'll all be safe and unlocked by then. I'd hate that to be cancelled because I missed going to loads of shows last year because the year before, me and Danny Boy done, I don't know how many shows. I think we'd done about 5 shows.
Yeah.
Which was really enjoyable, spending weekends with, like people who like the same sort of stuff as you. Really good. And sitting, that once you've flown all day and been out in the sun all day, and then sitting around the campfire drinking and chatting, brilliant.
Is there any night flying at Wings and Wheels?
I think there is. And if I can talk Martin into let me have a go with his Thor, because he's got nice lights on the bottom of his. Have you seen them?
They're very, very pretty.
They are pretty, aren't they?
I'm trying to work out where he posted them so I can show people.
Probably in Fossil Stuff on Faceballs.
It was in. I've just found it. It was in X Class UK.
Oh, that'd be it.
Let's see if I can
make some pretty patterns. I'm just going to say DJI again, so you'll not have a drink. Come on. Well done, Blue Owl. Well done. Frankie.
One's got caffeine in it. That's dangerous.
Oh, that's not gone well. There we go.
That doesn't look
there it is.
Ooh, that's posh.
Pretty. I'm not sure he'll be able to fly at night, but
that's the Mud RC controller.
Yeah, there is night flying. I probably won't be doing any. I have done it before. It was pitch black, and I broke an arm chasing fireworks. So hard to see the ground at night. It's like, oh, I'm down already. Oops. There
Sky is black, ground is black. Ah.
It was good. It was okay when the fireworks were on. Spend that 2 seconds of stopping before the next UNR, and I was like, oh, I'm on the ground. But
you need brighter LEDs on it, because then you'll see like the reflection on the ground.
I have got some
or a barometer.
Menace RC, yeah, that might work. But no, I'm looking forward to that.
Tapping the front of the quads. Like, what height are we at?
I missed out on them. So yeah, it should be a good show. So I'm looking forward to that. But I haven't flown my X class in months, so I need to get that off the wall and clean the cobwebs off and go and have a blast around the field. Make sure it's still all right.
Yeah. Do you check your fail safe?
Yes. Definitely need to do that.
Yeah.
Don't put any times. Don't put any switched smoke grenades on it.
Yes, I'm looking forward to when Jack comes back and we can do the deep dive into that Air Accident Investigation Bureau report. That'll be entertaining to wind him up. Going through all of that. Fraser in the chat said, "Ask me what I was flying last weekend because I did go flying."
You actually flew something for
I know.
first time in forever.
Yeah, you'll never guess what I was flying.
Was it the vertical takeoff?
No.
Yeah, no.
It was the DJI Mavic Air.
Have a drink.
Is there anyone else drinking with us? People in the chat, or is it just us struggling through?
Probably just us.
The chat are having a drink.
So how was it, Frank?
I mean, it was fine. It gave me something to do. It made use of it. I bought it like 2 years ago, and so haven't flown it very much because most of that was 2020. But yeah, so the one with Scrubs field, so the kind of it's next to the prison, but it's specifically a model flying field, so it's fine. But it's also a wildlife field, and but that's where that's my local flying field. That's like a 2-hour walk away, so local. But that's where it's being dug up. Even though it's like a wildlife area, it's being dug up for HS2 while they do some things. And the local wildlife people were like, "Can anyone take some photos, some aerial photos of the area as a kind of before and after and progress of the ripping up all the trees, so that they can kind of go back to HS2 at the end of it and go put all these trees back." So I went along and took the Mavic out and went and took some photos. And sent them over. But there was also a few other things going on the field at the time. There was a big IC buggy, and Fraser brought along a little relatively small electric buggy, radio control buggy, and gave me a go on that. And then I got challenged to a drag race by the IC buggy. While there's like 3 Mavics in the air and FPV quad with an HD camera. I don't think these were done by that particular Chinese company. I think there was some similar things, and there was a guy flying an FPV quad with a GoPro on the front and chasing us, and there was a load of GoPros on the floor. So it's like there's quite a bit of pressure here. I'm like, what's going on? It took a couple of goes to kind of work out how this is all going, but I learned that there's a lot more power out of that electric buggy than there was out of the big one. So I could just match the speed, and therefore not pop a wheelie and disappear off to the side when I hit a bump. But yeah, could match the speed for a bit, and then when it starts topping out, just wide open throttle for the second half of the drag race. And yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed that. So won a drag race, electric versus
Where is
IC.
all the amazing footage from the many cameras that were filming this?
That's where I've been asking. I've been asking in the Wormwood Scrubs FPV group, and everyone's like, "No, it wasn't me. I don't know." Yeah, so it's just some people that were around. And
I have to say, when you say Wormwood Scrubs FPV group, it just sounds like a cover story for getting drugs into the prison, doesn't it?
A bunch of prisoners, like, whatever, Frank.
Yeah. I'm like they're pretty sure that at least someone's been flying like some balsa thing for the past 40 years and just dropping in whatever they order.
Because they've got phones and everything, mobiles down their socks.
Oh, in their socks, is that where they put them?
Apparently.
But I never searched there.
Make sure you bring your RC trucks and buggies to Wings and Wheels as well. i.e. wheels. We always muck about with them in the evenings when the flying is done. I'll be able to charge mine because I've got a monster truck. I've got Vanessa's lunchbox, which I sprayed a luminous blue, and I can charge it with a torch and then drive around with it glowing. So it's pretty good
cool.
laugh. Yeah, everyone takes their trucks and stuff down there. So Lurgy, PM me later and I'll see if I can get you. If you want to fly, I can probably get you in if you let me. Just give me a PM later. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And Lurgy, also bring along your iNav rover that you've been talking about for ages and set that going around laps of the track.
Hey, not me.
Hey, Lurgy.
Lurgy, yes, he could. That'd be good. Blue Owl, you promised us that you were flying.
I did promise it. I know, I did promise. It was already.
What's your excuse?
Well, it's the same over and over. There are some new restrictions. So since, what is it? I think Monday, we can't leave Prague, which means we are stuck in the no-fly zone. And that's going to be happening for the next 3 weeks. And I really wanted to go and fly.
Oh, man. You'll just have to watch some more DJI.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff on YouTube. Sorry, I have a drink.
I hope someone is counting the number of shots that Tony needs to have. I think he just needs to basically down an entire bottle of like Jägermeister or something.
Oh God. Okay, next week I will have a drink next week on a Thursday. Even though I was supposed to be cutting down and promised everyone. Well, I didn't promise anyone. I was just saying I'm not going to drink anymore. But sod it, I'll do it. I'll do it for a laugh next week. I'm not all that bothered. Yes, Mum Skull, please hit that like, folks. Thank you very much. Curry Kitten, you've had a drone in your garden?
That's as exciting as it gets. On the day that everybody else was releasing DJI videos, I had a toy grade 3-axis gimbal. This is the quad I talked to you several weeks about, where it's got the amazing obstacle avoidance, where it's so good it refuses to go forward at all in my garden because it says no. There's other houses around here. It's not quite when you get a DJI like a Mavic Air, as Frank would know. You can get within about 2 meters of something before it shows stuff. With this, it's about like 10 meters as far as I can figure. So I took the sensor off to fly it around the room, only to find that the SD card didn't seem to want to record. And this quick review, because it's just like a quick foldable toy quad, just fly it around quickly, see what happens, took 3 extra days of me pouncing around trying to make it record. And I still have to take it out properly. But it wasn't very exciting. And it's very noisy as well. And my neighbours are very happy.
What's the price point on it?
About 150 quid.
Oh, that's not bad.
So about a battery.
Yeah, you can have a battery from a.
I kind of think that to be sort of attractive to people that say I can't possibly afford a DJI, so I have to get one of these. It needs to be about 100 quid because your DJI Mavic Mini is, I think, about 300. So it's about just sort of under half the price ish, I think. Come on, drink.
Guys, seriously, I'm not a student anymore. I'm
an old lady now.
old.
Back on the beers.
I may die. I need to wake up tomorrow morning.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that wasn't super exciting. But, I suppose it's better than nothing at all, but barely.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. At least you got to fly. I should really fix the mini things, the tiny whoops and whatnot that I have just sitting on my shelf here, getting sad and dusty. Maybe I will. I just need a bit of motivation. It's always fun to fly the Curry Kittens sim, though.
Yes.
You haven't tried the game. I made Frank try the game. And
Oh,
he broke-
all I saw was lots of
it was like controller
swearing
and
in
monitor
the chat.
smashed together.
Yeah. I got to that last level after a lot of frustration, and I had to give up on that last level because otherwise something was going to break. Whether it was me, the radio, the screen, all of the above. I got to the end of my patience. And then Curry put up a screenshot of the leaderboard where I'm like 10 times as slow as his time, and then he fixed it, which I think is very mean.
Well, no, what happened is Frank
You're a
found
beta tester.
an unintentional bug, whereas where I was working locally, there's these public variables that I get to mess around with in the editor, and I forgot that when they get carried through into the build, they wouldn't be there, so it picked up the original version, which gave him a little bit too much throttle versus gravity. So I changed it all out, so it's quite a weak quad, but that means you've got a lot of throttle room, which means it's not too up and downy. That's the technical term. So you'll be able to control your throttle a lot easier.
Yeah, because I was like, to try and hover, I was holding the sticks just like so precisely that I felt like my heartbeat was making it move. It was just just having to hold my breath, and just trying to just stay reasonably still. So
I can't believe you missed this. I could feel the frustration on the chat.
Oh yeah, the chat was going mad.
Yeah, I was just like having to put everything down and just message on
Frank's
the chat.
having a breakdown.
While the time is still going.
It's usually Tony who gets frustrated, and it gets super funny.
Me? I never get frustrated.
Oh,
especially
whenever
not when
I've
I'm
peeked in your
thinking
hide
of
and
you.
seek, it's just you in some drunken rage, yelling.
Am I upside down?
You don't know where it is.
It's because everyone hides on the map, and it's like they're that big.
And let's not even talk about the infamous "my battery's running out." I'll just gaffer tape over the speaker until I can't hear it anymore.
and then ask people on Facebook,
Facebook.
please send me a new battery, which
Just
I
send
am.
me batteries. My one seems to be dead.
Yeah,
For some
which I
reason, can't imagine why.
Thanks very much, Win. Bless him. Yeah, I got a new battery, and it's all okay now.
Oh, good. Because last time we had to join the forces with Tony, and I was flying, he was watching, telling me where to fly, where to hide. Basically, he was the brain, I was the muscles.
That's it.
And surprisingly, it worked.
It worked. Yes, I was surprised actually, being the brain.
And then it was me going and checking all the corners, but then I checked 3 of the sides and not the sides that you were hiding in the middle of. It took like half an hour trying to find you.
That's a good challenge actually for playing the sim, getting Frank frustrated, getting him to the point where he just
Turns out it's not such a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, calm and placid, Frank. No more.
Yeah, my tactic ended up being on trying to do the quad ball game, was just like sort of flying generally in the direction I want it to go, and then just cutting the throttle so I just land on the ball and kind of ping it into the general direction that I wanted it to go. And that would seem to be the only way of doing it. So I was doing that a lot, just to try and get it off the side, restart again, off the side, restart again. It was not fun.
I'm just finishing off the rate thing, where you can now visualize the rates, and you've got individual sliders, and you've got the nice curves, and you can look at how quickly it goes. As soon as I do that, I'm going to add the last bits into the game, one of which will be the facility to press escape and pause it. And we should all go on stream, take it in turns to do a level, and we can all look at how different people do it, because there's a certain amount of like dropping down and watching you do, but the problem is if you drop on the ball, now I've altered the gravity and stuff a little bit. I've noticed you can make a backspin if you want to, so you can drop on it and you can make it come back, and you can put little side spin on it. All these little subtle things.
This only increases my anxiety that like NJ will immediately go on this and just like get, you know, where we're doing it in like a few minutes. I'm sure he'll be like seconds later. He's just got it through the goal and it'll be done. I feel like this is built for NJ.
Maybe we should have a let's throw out top 10.
Yeah, we could. I feel like I'm gonna be. If there are 9 contestants, I'll be the 10th. I'll be the last one. I'm gonna suck at this.
I think that was another thing I was trying to deal with, was like not only going back to low angle, but basically going back to no angle, because I watched Curry's video and he said you should fly at basically 0 angle. And yeah, it's like, it's not flying how I expect.
No, not after you've been flying every weekend at 79 degrees or wherever it is, 65.
Yeah.
It is different. It's like, it's not, yes, you're using the sort of some of the skills you would use, but don't think of it as flying. Think of it as a game built around how we fly a bit, essentially.
But I think if it's, I mean, I haven't tried it since you've rebalanced the thrust and gravity, but if it's a little bit less on the frustration-inducing side, then I can imagine it being, you know, something that would at least work on, you know, like throttle control and, like, yeah, fine.
Yeah, you can definitely work on the subtlety. I mean, that's the one for you to work on, Frank, because it's like my time 11 seconds, your time 15 and a half minutes. I don't know what's going on for you there.
Is that the one with the 2 levels, like where like there's a ramp up and then there's a mezzanine
that
bit
was
and then
the
there's
little
another ramp?
I toned that down. Originally it was quite steep and I thought that's a bit hard, and it was a single slope and I thought that's a bit hard. I make it little slope straight, little slope straight, which obviously caused some issues for you. I understand.
So it took me like 8 minutes to get it up the first one, and then after that, I was like, as soon as when that was like to get it up and keep it up on that first level, and then, you know, I try and get it up the second one, and it immediately just rolls back down the first one. Like, oh no, I can't take this anymore.
You should live stream that.
Yeah, I was thinking that this would be good content, but on the other hand, I cannot take it. I think if there were people watching me right now, I wouldn't cope. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Well, I for one want to see that.
Yeah, especially if people could actually say things to me, I would definitely be breaking things.
To me, that means good content. So I think
I know. That's the thing.
So we'll have to go together. I haven't made it multiplayer, but everybody can, if we can pause the game, it's like do a level, next person does a level, next person does a level.
Yeah.
See the different techniques and just really see what happens. Because I'm interested to see what's going on. What about tag mode? One was it and the others are planes. Once someone catches it, everyone gets a random spools to the next round.
That would be quite good.
We tried kind of playing. What were we trying to do, Frank? It was me, you, Jack, and was it you as well, Tony? I can't remember. Somebody was trying to land a plane on the roof, and other people were trying to knock in with quads or something.
Yep. Yeah. That was I was landing a plane on a roof, and everyone else was taking me out. I remember that. I remember doing that. That was quite entertaining. Because we were trying to do a kind of streamer chasing kind of thing, but when you can't cut the streamer, it doesn't really work. But...
No. But we could do that. Yeah.
That's an idea.
Did anyone see Gary Kent flying in?
Oh, no.
I presume it was his house with a micro. Have you seen it, Frank?
I haven't seen it, but I mean, knowing Gary Kent's, I haven't seen Gary Kent fly for a couple of years, but I can imagine that he's
was
not
just
been
like,
sitting on his
wow.
ass in that time.
No, he's it was just mind blowing. It was I couldn't keep up. Amazing. I think it's a 4S Micro. Don't quote me on that. But it was so fast and it's just brilliant.
It sounds mental to fly anything with 4S inside a house, doesn't it? That's bad.
It's like he's done it from the point of the quads, and then you see it from a different angle of it shooting down the stairs and under something, and it just goes and it's gone. It's just absolutely incredible, really good. If you haven't seen it, go and check Gary Kent's video. It's on Facebook somewhere. I'm sure it's under his name or something like that. Oh, you woke up, have you? You're all right. Yeah, so go and check that out. It's bloody brilliant. Some say hello then. Oh, I just woke up. Hey, DJI. And I have to drink. Yeah. Well, you want to get out there and show your bum off, don't you?
So let's go back to DJI again, because the goggle thing is real. I talked to Rob, who was on the show a while ago. He bought some V2 goggles for some reason, even though he's got V1s. He hasn't bought the quad, even though I said to him, this meets your criteria, doesn't it? Because you don't own one and it exists. Surely you bought it by now. But all he wanted to do is activate his goggles. And I always find that interesting. It's like, you can't watch this TV, sir. It hasn't been activated yet. That sort of thing. But he didn't have the right cable, because you can't do it on a computer now. You have to use a phone. And then he had to order an OTG cable, the right thing. And then when he tried to do it, it wouldn't work. So he called DJI support, who told him, this can't be fixed. You'll have to return it under warranty. And of course, there's no stock, and he doesn't want to send it off and not have it for months, only for them to then release what needs to be
V3.
a software update at some point. Yeah, or the V3. But it sounds like it's going to be a software fix, doesn't it? But the guy there saying, send it back. It's faulty. But what they're going to do is send another one, and he'll try and activate it, and the same thing will happen. I don't know.
Maybe that is weird. I wonder, what could you not fix by just rolling out an update? I mean, maybe has it got some weird encryption chip on it that they've got to read stuff off of it to do something with, or I don't know.
I think what generally happens in all these circumstances, similar thing happened to me with support. I bought a Samsung gaming monitor to replace the big TV that I used to have just here.
There we go. Seb's got an answer. Oh, click from
what?
If you can't activate, you can't update.
Oh, that's bad. I thought there's always some way of getting into the sort of base function. You'd think.
You'd hope there was a way of flashing it, but
what we thought, it was just like a support thing, because when I had my monitor kept sort of falling forward on its tilt stand, and after talking to Samsung support, they said, this is a fault, you're going to have to send it back. I was like, really? It's just the plastic tilt thing. Is there nothing I can do? No, it's a faulty product, send it back. And took it apart, and this screw, tighten that up, and it was fine. And I thought it was DJI support people kind of being like the plebs at the front office, saying, don't know how to fix this, send it back, we'll have to return it. And if it really is that you can't update it, if you can't activate it, then he's screwed. But I can't still believe that you need to activate goggles.
Yeah,
it's just so
mad,
stupid,
isn't it? So they've done it all the time.
Says the man with DJI goggles.
I do love them though. Once you've
seen that grass,
you can't go back.
Once you've counted the blades of grass.
Oh yeah, the blades of grass, bloody brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how that kind of continues, I guess. I mean, on the one hand, maybe the increased demand with all these kind of camera drone people wanting to get goggles means that the goggles will continue going up in price. But on the other hand, maybe they'll smash their FPV drones into a million pieces, and there'll be a load of spare second-hand goggles on the market.
Yeah, V2 goggles
Tell you
on
what,
the market.
Sheldon is at home doing this, isn't he? Just dancing around as the I'm going to be so rich. All these things to fix.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just, I'm gonna be a little bit negative for a little while. Forgive me. But I was just wondering, because now it's gonna be so accessible for everybody, people who have no idea about FPV and flying. I'm slightly afraid, and I don't know, tell me if it's just me. I'm afraid if, many accidents happen, if this is gonna affect the law even more. If there's going to be more restrictions because of this, because people will keep buying these, FPV DJI drones.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank. Just because they can, just because it's exciting and it's new, and they're not people who know how to fly. They know how to fly Mavic. They know how to press a button to take off. And I know that
but they've got a brake button, they've got a panic button.
Yeah, I know that there's a stop and hover on the Switch, which is very clever. And I think I told you it's also kind of lame. It's just my personal opinion. If you fly acro, who needs a stop and hover on the Switch? But I don't think it's gonna save anyone from crashing really, because you still need this how do you call it? Reflex. That's the reaction to actually
reflexes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just a little bit afraid it's gonna happen. It's gonna be.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's hard to imagine, like, it can get any more negative as far as the press goes. I mean, one decent thing about them is it looked really hard to get it into proper manual mode. Even when you're in manual mode, it's like you have to go through multiple menus, and then it only gives you this toned down manual mode where you can't. It will only go to this far. You can't do a loop or a roll until you go into the menus in the goggles and say, "Yeah, really manual mode. Honest,
I really know what I'm doing."
And then you have to hold the sticks in certain position. Like it comes up with this little template, and you have to hold the sticks there for like 5 seconds to prove that you really want this mode.
I think you've got to unscrew. You get, because the throttle is centered, isn't it?
I was wondering about that too.
You've got to unscrew a screw on the back, and it will loosen up the throttle stick.
Bardwell was saying he's going to fly his with it, but
does it mean that by default it's basically going to be a Mavic with just a different form?
Mavic, but with a much shittier camera and no gimbal. Yeah.
One axis.
So the I think they've called it normal mode, haven't they? Where it literally is like a sort of Mavic thing, except they've tuned it so literally the throttle stick is altitude and pushing forward goes forward, and your complete steering is via the yaw stick, and it will apparently on normal mode it will just put in a little bit of a coordinated turn in that, and when you go to sport mode it puts in more of a coordinated turn, but you just use your steering on the yaw stick and it's putting these nice coordinated turns in for you, so it feels more swishy, but it's still like let go and it just stops and hovers, and it's got like full return to home and stuff. So as long as nobody tries to get like, oh, this FPV stuff looks easy, let's give it a go and see what happens, I don't think they'll either like get the hang of it or they'll break it really quickly. So
well, I think it's the latter from the pictures that I've been seeing.
And the other thing is,
is it just FPV pilots breaking it though?
No, it doesn't even look like many FPV pilots are buying it. It just looks like people who want to fly FPV who've been flying Mavics and stuff.
I thought all the initial breaking videos were coming from like reviewer type people that DJI have sent it off to, and by that, actually, that they are sending it to sort of, the sort of big vloggers as opposed to sort of FPV people. A few sort of very big channels have got it, but I've seen lots of sort of vloggers get it because they get all the sort of things like that. But the only sort of crash pictures I've seen have been on Facebook. I haven't seen the context of like more videos about it. I would love to see some people are like, oh, I'll give this manual thing a go and see what happens on their first attempt. That would be fun.
But what I found interesting is that I work with a lot of people who have no idea about FPV. Maybe they heard about it, but they are more into commercial drones. And they, of course, they heard about the big release this week.
I bet they did.
And they were stunned. They were like super excited, and they would tell me, "Have you seen this new FPV drone?" Because they knew I was into FPV. So I think the marketing is working. I think, I mean, it looks exciting to people, even in drone industry, people who don't fly FPV. Because of course we're gonna just keep finding the little details that don't work. This is expensive. This is not working super well. That's difficult. That's stupid. But people find it really cool, and people were talking about it a lot.
Do you think
People
it was
get
all
swayed by
shot?
marketing.
Do you think it was all the video was shot on it, or did they get an FPV?
Good question.
No, I think it was all shot in it because it looked a bit
Do
shaky.
you think?
If you go back and look at it carefully,
Well.
you'll see it.
Cuts.
Yeah, it's cut very quickly together, so there's not a sort of big flowing
no
scene.
long,
It's all like
yeah.
go,
Yeah.
go. So you don't really have time to focus on it.
Yeah.
It didn't
Oh,
look brilliant. But
Hang on. Robin is saying that the one most shared were reviews, but beginner. The one being most shared were reviewers, but beginner FPV. They smashed it immediately, even damaging the SD card, so they got no footage of it. That's brilliant.
Wow.
You can actually smash up the SD card. It's like go right.
Talking of smash,
Smash the
let's all
like.
smash all the like
Nice.
bunches right up.
Very good.
But yeah, to be fair, I think it's very clever actually, because this was the part of the market that was not covered by anybody else, and it's so hard to get into FPV. There's so much to learn. It's like learning a new difficult language. First, you need to go through this phase where you can't really do anything. You can't really fly. You have to learn how to build, how to set things up, how to properly, safely take off and land, and only after that, after many months of practice, there's this fun bit. And here, I think this is a lot more accessible. Maybe that was the goal.
Yeah, I think also because there has been a lot more FPV footage used in not only the kind of drift stuff and Top Gear and things like that, but even in like movies and Netflix series and things like that. There's been FPV footage turning up here and there, so you can kind of imagine that that's becoming something that these commercial people that maybe have a fleet of matrices, however you would say.
What is the plural of matrix?
Yeah, matrice.
Mouses, meat.
Of them, and Phantoms and Mavics and everything else. This then gives them the ability to cover that bit as well, rather than going to Tony and saying, "Do you mind doing this bit?" Yeah, we'll kind of see, I guess. I'm much more excited about the Insta360 one. I think they've got the Insta360 Go V2, which looks very small, and I'm wondering if that might become more of a maybe a bit of a session replacement. Just kind of looking at the tiny little glimpse of it that you can see, it's kind of a bit of a square front.
When's the release on that?
I haven't seen any glimpses. Have we got any tech specs?
I've seen something in a hand. It looks really small. If that's the one we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. That is the one.
It just depends if it's going to have some kind of hyper smoothie type thing on it and recording, and not cut out after 5 minutes or whatever, like the other one could only do 5 minutes, couldn't it, or something? And then it got really hot and stuff like that. So.
It's March the 9th. It's coming out.
Okay,
that's not long. Not long to wait.
No.
We can talk about that. Is anyone going to buy one, do you think? How expensive was the other one? Are they quite dear?
I don't know actually. The Insta360 Go.
I thought you had an Insta360 Go, didn't you, Tony? Or did you not?
No,
Oh, you just thought about it.
I was going to get one, but I never did.
Originally RRP £190. Currently now about 150 for the Insta360 Go. So we'll see.
We'll see what
This
this
new
one
one
will be.
is going to come out like. Yeah, look forward to
Might be
seeing that.
good. Might be good to get something like that. I was thinking about getting something small like that, so I can put it in different places on my bike when I'm mountain biking as well. Because there's obviously loads of places you can put it on. If it's that small, under the saddle, looking backwards, forwards, pedaling, suspension, going up and down,
Yeah, that'd be
dog
cool.
chase footage, etc. My chain snapped last weekend, and I went out last Friday, and my chain snapped. I was only a mile into my ride. Thank God I wasn't right in the middle of the forest, but I had to push it back. But I've just got a bill for the just the parts I needed was 250 quid. So
Something's wrong there. Chains they're not that much.
It's 2 years of wear on my bike now, so it's done. I've probably done 1,500 miles on it, so I've got cogs, sprockets to change, brake pads, chain, everything. So yeah, it's I've worn it out. You're supposed to do bits in between, but I rode it until it broke. So
I
have little bills, but I rode it till it broke. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, yeah, it'd be
still
good
interesting
to have
that Insta seem to be doing more for FPV than GoPro, who seem to have completely lost interest in the idea.
They don't care about us. They never have. Really.
So hopefully Insta's going to carry on as they were.
Yes.
Now, I'm reasonably certain that drone is a curse word in GoPro since the Karma didn't quite go to plan.
There's an ironic name behind that Karma drone.
Just a bit. Have you two still got any drink left? DJI?
Well, not anymore.
Sorry.
It's only like a pint's worth. Get it down, yeah.
Come on. Well, that was one. I gave you 3 DJIs then. And a 4th. Hope you're all drinking at home.
I'm on my 2nd Diet Coke. This is hardcore.
Don't get wasted. Be careful.
It happened.
Go crazy.
So, anybody got any good plans coming up for the next week? Is any more flying happening? Blue Owl's obviously going to set up a tiny whoop course around the house.
I'm just gonna cry if you keep asking about it. We could fly a sim that's as good as it gets these days.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do Curry's new quad ball levels.
Yeah,
I'll try and get it sorted in the next couple of days, so at least we get a pause screen so we can do something kind of together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Now, at least individualize your rates. Hooray. Well, I say now, only on my desktop, not for anybody else. But it'll be coming.
Coming soon to a Steam store near you.
Yes, indeed.
Or GitHub.
You might be allowed out of Prague in June, and you could come and see us at the RC show.
Well, I honestly hope so. I mean, if it keeps going like this until June, I may go crazy by then. So I hope so. We'll see. I might have some work travel before that, so I may be allowed to leave at some point. It's nothing confirmed yet, but we'll see.
It'd be nice.
I'll think about it.
We'll have to get you up to the towers at some point.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
before,
that's
I don't know if they're planning to like put them down.
There was rumours.
Yeah, I think that was pre-2020. Those rumors were happening. I can't imagine they're quite as keen to do anything anymore. I imagine that's probably been knocked back a few years. So that's that's a positive thing about the world changing.
Well, I wish that happened my end of things. That's the only thing that's carried on around here is the builders that invaded my field carried on, and now there's a road where you guys came that time, where
Yep.
there was still like the forest and the trees and
And
stuff.
lizards.
It's now just the road and the houses, and I'm not sure if the field I was using is still there because that was on the outskirts.
Well,
When I
my
can eventually
one
walk there, I'll have to check if it's actually there anymore.
My one I flew at is a massive housing estate already.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that was that's totally changed. You just don't even recognise it anymore. It's so weird. But yeah, that's gone. But
When I was young, these are all fields.
it's fields for miles. So we could say fields and chimneys.
Fred Dibner over here.
Yeah, Fred. Come on, Fred, get up that chimney. Right, we've hit
He
the
just goes
1
where he's
hour.
alpacas instead. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So should we wrap it up there then?
Aye.
All right. Hopefully, maybe we'll have maybe we'll drag Jack back on next week, and maybe we can go through some of the torture photos for him. Otherwise, thank you everyone for listening and following along with us. Thank you for all our Patreons for supporting us. You have been listening to Let's Drone Out, and this week we have had Curry.
Goodbye.
We've had Blue Owl.
Bye.
We've had Tony.
Bonjour.
I've been Frank. Goodbye and see you next week. Bye.